Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be covering how to match your rods, reels and lines for squid fishing to make sure you get the best possible cast, way less tangles and catch way more squid. Let's dive in. Step one is going to be to choose your rod. Now, which rod you use is going to depend on what size squid jigs you're using. Now, one major misconception we need to deal with is people think the size of the jig refers to the weight of the jig. For example, this size 3.5 squid jig doesn't weigh 3.5 grams. That number 3.5 refers to the jig's length in inches. So if you take a look at this jig, size 3.5, it weighs 20 grams. The 3.0 weighs 15 grams. The 2.5 weighs 10 grams. And then your 1.8 weighs 5 grams. Now, the weights can vary slightly from brand to brand, but they're generally roughly within that vicinity. It might differ by a gram or two, depending on the brand. Now, you may be thinking, why does this matter? Well, it's because your rod's gonna have a specific cast weight. If you take a look at this rod, it casts 2 to 10 grams. You'll have no problem using the size 1.8 or the size 2.5 on this rod, whereas the size 3.0 and 3.5 would be too heavy for this rod. Now, that can be an issue because if you exceed the rod's maximum cast weight, you have a high chance of snapping the tip of the rod, so that's a definite no-no. So then if you use a heavier rod like this rod with a 4 to 14 gram cast weight, you won't get the best cast with the 1.8, but you will get away with it. It'll cast the 2.5 without any issues at 10 grams, and it'll cast the 3.0, which is only 1 gram over its maximum cast weight. You can get away with pushing it 1 gram. But a size 3.5 jig at 20 grams would definitely be too heavy for this rod. Now, that's where squidding rods come in. If you take a look at the specs on a squidding rod, rather than giving you a cast weight, it gives you the size of the jig that the rod is suitable for. So this rod is suitable for size 2.5 to 4.0 squid jigs. So you wouldn't be able to use size 1.8 jigs on this rod, but you'd have no problem with 2.5s, 3.0s, 3.5s, or even 4.0s. Now, if we take a look at a lighter squidding rod, you'll notice that the rod can cast size 1.8 up to 3.5. So 1.8, 2.5, 3.0, and 3.5 would be absolutely fine on this rod. Now, while you definitely do not need to use a squidding rod for squid fishing, all you need to do is make sure the jig size you're using matches the cast weight of your rod if you're not going to use a squidding rod. If you are going to use a squidding rod, make sure it covers the size range you plan on using. Now, when it comes to rod length, if you're land-based on a wharf or a jetty, 7 foot is fine. If you're off the rocks, you need a little bit more length. You want to go for a rod length of 8'3" up to 9 foot, and anything in between, you have no problem at all, just to give you that extra casting distance, as well as helping to keep the line away from the rocks so you don't lose as many jigs. Now it's time to move on to step 2. I'm going to cover 2 scenarios. Scenario 1, you just want to try out squidding. You want to use a rod that you've already got at home. Scenario 2, you want an optimal squidding outfit for the best possible results. Now, starting with scenario 1, you've already got a light rod at home. It's got a cast weight of 2 to 10 grams. So now you know that you're going to be limited to your size 1.8 squid jigs, which weigh 5 grams, or your size 2.5 squid jigs, which weigh 10 grams. The next step is to pair a reel with your rod. When it comes to squidding, any size 2500 or 3000 reel will be no problem at all, 3000 being your upper limit. Now, one thing I want to make clear, you definitely do not need a squidding reel to catch squid either. Any 2500 or 3000 size reel will be absolutely fine. Your rod's actually a lot more important than your reel, especially when it comes to casting distance. Just make sure your cast weight matches the jig size you're using. Now, that being said, if you've got a couple of reels at home, you want to prioritize a 2500 with a standard spool or a shallow spool versus a 2500 or a 3000 with a deep spool. Reason being, there's no point wasting excessive amounts of money on braid. You only need 150 meters at most for squid fishing. So on a deeper spool or bigger reel, if it's way more than 150 meters, which means you're going to need either a 300 meter spool or a bunch of backing. Whereas if you just have a shallow spool or standard spool reel, normally the 150 meter spool will fill it perfectly, so it saves you some money on your lines. Now, speaking of lines, the most suitable line diameters are going to be PE 0.8 or PE 1. Now, the breaking strain will vary from brand to brand, but all PE 0.8s should be same diameter, and then all PE 1s should also be same diameter. For example, this braid, the PE 0.8 is a 10 pound breaking, and in this braid the PE1 is a 12 pound breaking. You would choose the PE 0.8 if you want to prioritize casting distance, and you would choose the PE 1 if you want to prioritize power and losing a little bit less jigs. You do lose more jigs on the PE 0.8 just because the line's thinner, so it's easier to break if you snag. Just remember to check the line capacity on the reel. It should always be mentioned somewhere on the spool. That way it makes it much easier for you to choose which braid is more suitable for your actual spool. Now, one other thing when it comes to choosing your line, just make sure it's compatible with the breaking strain of the line mentioned on your rod. As long as it matches the breaking strain on your rod and it's a suitable diameter for whatever reel you've got at home, then you should be good to go. Now, scenario 2, for those who want to match up a squidding rod, reel and line for maximum performance, there are some differences. So let's say we've decided we want a rod that can cast 1.8s as well as our 2.5s, 3.0s and our 3.5s, because this will be a dedicated squidding rod. In that situation, that's where an actual squidding rod would now be worth looking into. So for example, this rod is 8'3". You don't really want to go much shorter, especially if you're on the rocks. You can go up to 9 foot. That's no problem at all. You'll also notice this rod can cast all 4 jigs that we want to use. So size 1.8 all the way up to size 3.5. You won't have any issues at all. And you'll also benefit from the way the blank of a squidding rod is tapered. Squid pulse, they don't pull like a fish. So the way they taper the blanks for squidding rods is a little bit different, which also allows you to get maximum action out of your squid jigs. Now, when it comes to matching your reel to your squidding rod, you can go with a squidding reel. You don't have to though, because the main difference is basically the line capacity. Generally, squidding reels are designed to take exactly 150 meters of either PE 0.8 or PE 1, depending which size you go with. Also, they're a little bit lighter and the drag isn't as powerful, but that gives you more control per click of how much drag pressure you're actually applying. Now, the main benefit of that is you're less likely to tear the tentacle off the squid. Sometimes when you're fighting a squid, if the drag's set a bit too tight, you rip the tentacle off the squid, you end up with a little tentacle and the rest of the squid swims away. So if we were going to match a braid to this exact reel, if you take a look at the spool, you'll see it takes 200 meters of PE 0.8, which means it'll take about 150 meters of PE 1, because generally if you move up a line class, it'll take 25% less line, and if you go down the line class, it'll take 25% more line. So if we were going to use this PE 0.8, you'd add a bit of backing and then put the 150 on top. Or if you're going to use a PE 1 braid, you wouldn't need any backing. You'll be able to just put the 150 meters straight onto your spool and it should fill it perfectly, provided the reel is braid ready. If the reel is not braid ready, then you want to add a bit of backing, just a meter or two, just for traction, or some tape, electrical tape that allows the braid to grip to the spool properly. And then you just add your 150 meters and you're pretty much good to go. So now we've covered rods, reels and lines. Now just to touch on your leaders. For your leader, you don't really want to go much lighter than a 10 pound because you're going to lose too many jigs, and you don't want to go too much heavier than a 16 pound because it starts to interfere with the sink rate of the jig too much. 16 is probably your upper limit, 10 pound your lower limit, to make sure you don't lose too many jigs but still get plenty of bites. Hope you guys found this video helpful. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one.